to head off to go and meet Lily. I've just been sitting here waiting for the car to defrost. Now we might be able to see. Yay! So I'm leaving home now to go and meet Lily. She's at Equestrian Park in Canberra. I dropped her down there the day before yesterday, so I had to come home to work, and it's close enough that I can do that. And she started competing yesterday. They had the 60 centimetre combined training for seniors, which she apparently did really well in. She got 75% in the dressage and clear in the show jumping, and she finished in second place, which was a pretty good effort. Maybe she goes better when I'm not there, because I don't think I've ever gotten 75% on racing a dressage test. But yeah, so I'm off to meet her. I came home and worked yesterday and this morning, and now I'll go and meet her and do some volunteer duties and get on with the rest of it. We had our first big proper frost here last night, so I'm tipping it was probably very fresh down there in Canberra for it too. So when we entered, it was going to be dressage on Friday, but they had loads and loads of entries, and so they've moved or spread the dressage over 2 days, which is going to be hard because she has to play football tomorrow as well as do 2 dressage tests and the working horse challenge in 3 parts. But anyway, we'll work it out one way or another. So yeah, but that's where we are for now, and we'll see where we go from here. When I got there on the Friday morning, I did a couple of hours dressage penciling, and then in the afternoon I watched Lily do the sporting, which Rhys does sporting like a show horse. 10-metre circle around that drum. Spoiler alert, they didn't get any ribbons in the sporting. But it's fun to get it and have a go. So they did barrels, and this is keyhole, and they do western bending as well, which is probably the best shot. But yes, no bows in those. On the Friday afternoon, they had a schools parade where all of the competitors paraded into the arena. There's over 300 competitors there over the course of the weekend. And this is Lily's team from Trinity. There's Lily, Sasha and Estella Manning. And they all had a pretty successful weekend, which is nice. They had a 6-bar on the Saturday afternoon, I think. Could have been the Friday afternoon. And Sasha won the senior 6-bar, which is pretty cool. I think it got up to 1.20 meters. Rhys always loves a scratch, especially when he's been locked up away from his scratchy friend Bumper. This is Lily's first test. This is the 3.1. She was actually scheduled to do this at like 1 o'clock in the day, middle of the day, but she had to go and play football, which is not remotely the organisers, a little bit early there, Petal, not remotely the organisers' problem, but they were kind enough to say that's fine, she can just go very first thing, just be down there and be ready to do that, which was good. So she was still able to do both of her elementary tests. Now, Lily's never done an elementary test in her life. She's actually only done a couple of novice tests. And, yeah, she was all ambitious, like, yeah, Rhys can do it. And, you know, Rhys is still only very green at the level 2. So that was a little bit of, what's traverse again? When we were warming up. But they had a good go. And, yeah, they got some pretty decent scores most of the way through this. They sort of did a pretty decent job of it. Something like a fire truck with lights and sirens during your dressage test. So they were getting pretty respectable scores for most of the way through here. There was sort of 6.5s and 7s. There were things along the way, you know, when he picked up Canberra there in the corner that obviously lost them a bit, and his medium trot could have been a bit more medium, and those are the sort of comments that you expect, and those are the sort of comments that she got. But I was a bit, probably me more than her, was a bit disappointed. So just up ahead here, so he's picked up the Canberra there, he's canned up here. She got a comment, you know, could have been a bit more medium. She got a 7, I think, for the transition, or a 7.5, and a 6 for the medium. And then she comes around here, and in the 10-metre circle, he switches legs just there, and he goes a bit here and there, which he is prone to do. And she froze up a bit, and she should have fixed it, and she didn't. And she can't really say why she didn't. But because he was on the wrong leg, obviously he comes across here and he goes into counter canter on the long side, which he can't counter canter because he's already on the right leg. So obviously they lost marks for those, but the judge has actually gone back at the end and changed the score for the transition at A and the medium canter from whatever they were down to 4 or something, which, you know, the mistake didn't come until after those movements, and I'm pretty disappointed that that dropped her score quite a lot, and she actually should have placed second in this test instead of third, and that potentially would have won her the elementary dressage championship. So, you know, there's lots to play for. It costs a lot of money to go to these competitions, and to have things like that is pretty disappointed. Like this counter canter, you know, you got a 7 or something for that. So if she had fixed it before, who knows what she would have done. But it's her first ever elementary test, so I'll move on. But yeah, I'm pretty disappointed that the scores were changed for movements that weren't impacted by the mistake. The mistake came after them. And, you know, I didn't read the tests. I'd gone home by the time she picked the tests up. She didn't give me the tests until after the whole weekend was over. And as soon as I read it, I was like, hang on, I've got that on video. She did not have that mistake at, you know, the transition at A. But anyway, her job's done now, so it's time to move on, but it was still pretty disappointing to read it. And she did a pretty damn good job for her first elementary test, with the fire truck coming in the middle of it, just to add a bit of a bonus. Now this one was on pretty much straight after the 3.1. This is the 3.2, and she'd read it, but she just wasn't 100% sure, so she said, can you call it? And I went, that's fine. So I was trying to call it and trying to video it, and I was not successful. I thought I pressed start to record before she went in, and obviously I didn't. I took a photo, so I found out at the end. And so I've missed the first half of the test. I've missed all of the lateral stuff, which she did a really good job of, and I was actually calling the wrong thing. Yeah. She needed to do a shoulder in, I think, from E to H, and I'm there calling traverse, and she's going, it's shoulder in, and I'm going traverse. And, yeah, she was right. So it's a good thing she did know what was going on. And to her credit, she did not go to pieces when that happened. They managed to keep on going and recovered quite well. And she actually won this test with 75%, almost. It was 74 point something or other. They did a great job. You know, there's little things like that walk where you can nitpick at, but generally speaking, they did a really good job in this test, despite me doing a very bad job calling the test for her. Things like more medium could be shown in his medium canter and his medium trot. But those things will come with time because she's got the bug now too, and she's going to fight me to ride him in elementary tests. But that's okay because, you know, she's really only going to be doing it until the end of the year, at home at least, and then she'll be off somewhere or other doing something. E turn left, X turn left. G halt salute. This is Sunday now. This is the show hunter stuff he's entered in. She was intending to wear her old long boots for this, and they actually the zipper broke when she was putting them on. So she said, "I'll just wear my new ones," which this is the 4th day in her new boots. Were not very comfortable, so she was almost in tears. And luckily, we're the same foot size. So when they went in to line up, I crept in the back and we actually changed boots. So she was able to do the class because, yeah, there's no way she would have been able to trot him out in the boots that she had on. It was not a pleasant experience for her. So the way they did the show hunter stuff, or all the classes, there was show hunter, working hunter, and show horse, and she chose to do the show hunter with him, and they were sort of rotating rings. They had a lead class, a rider class, and a ridden class, and they all rotated around, so they had a different judge for each class. And obviously this is the lead class. They got first in the lead class, and then we popped away and they saddled up and she put her boots back on and hopped on, and they did the rider class and she got first in this. this is the third class. This is a ridden show hunter senior rider. And we were trying to beat the weather by then. It snowed in Canberra this day. You can see that colour in the background. It was absolutely freezing. The temperature was dropping. There was a few little spots starting to fall. And yeah, they were the last class in the last ring, and everybody was just trying to beat that. And we did for the most part, at least for the riding anyway. We got absolutely soaked packing up, but it's all part of the fun, isn't it? It was another weekend where we get to come home and get everything out again to dry out. So they were going pretty well in this until after they changed direction and they were cantering the other way. Rhys was like, no, I don't want to do that. I don't know if it's something to do with Lily's position, her legs, I'm not too sure what it is, but it was the same way that she had a problem with in her dressage as well. And yeah, I'll have to possibly look into exactly what's going on there as to why it happens. But yeah, he picked up the wrong leg, or he changed to the wrong leg, and he didn't want to come back and fix it, and it went on a little bit more than it needed to, and they placed second. But that's okay. They got 2 firsts and the 1 second in the championship, in the overall out of the 3 classes. And yeah, there we go. And he's like, no, I'm not going to come back. No, I don't want to. No. And Lily eventually is going like, no, you have to. And yeah, he still didn't want to play the game. And they did eventually manage to fix it. But the job was done. So yeah, they got 2 firsts and then a second in this. And that was enough for them. But they won the Senior Show Hunter Championship. And she got a lovely woolen rug for it, along with a rosette and a rosette for the reserve champion elementary senior dressage. And back on Thursday, when they got second in the combined training, they only just missed out on another rug there too. So
we are now completed.
Gives her something she needs to work a little bit harder on, although this is her last year in inter-school, so there's not too much more chance she can get. But anyway, after all of that, they went down and did a show jumping round, and it was just as it started to rain when we got back to the float. We took a photo at home because we were already packed up pretty much by the time she got the rug. He was on the float and we were out of there. So this is the only show jumping she got to do over the weekend. The senior show jumping started at 80 centimetres, which he's doing like 75, and she probably could have pushed it, but she was doing so many other things like with the dressage and stuff that we didn't really. I was happy to just enter in this. I actually thought this was like still a competitive class on the Sunday, but it wasn't. It pretty much turned into go around and do it and get a ribbon at the end. Had a bit of a flyer, had a bit of pig root, got back to it, and on with the job. But anyway, so they did this, they jumped clear, and then we went back to the float and tried to get out of there as quick as we could before we got snowed on.
Year 4, 5 and 6 has just headed into the ring now.
That's Lily and Rhys's weekend at Stone Mountain's Inter-School Equestrian
to come and do your
competition. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.